Oh, that is so much fun to watch everyone come in. It's just, I see the glory on each face as they say in the song.
It's like when the football players come out in the field.
Ready to go.
Warriors of wisdom, here we come. It's so much fun.
Okay, Coach.
Oh, brother. Well, I'm gonna get started. Welcome, welcome. It is so good to see the people on Zoom and the people that have joined us today. We've got visitors, but they're really not visitors. They've been part of our family, Dolores, and it's so good to have you here. And so it's gonna be a beautiful day in May. Well, it's gonna start warming up, y'all. Here we go. We're heading into the Arkansas summers, although it's still, let's just still hold on to spring a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So last week we celebrated, let me pin this real fast, and then I can, okay.
What kind of conversation is Travis and...
I know it. I was saying that Travis is nervous. He was really serious. And we celebrated Mother's Day. Oh, there's Chris. Welcome.
Those crossed arms, you know, that's
So-
not posture there, is it, Travis?
What's fun about, and of course we had, oh, let me just put this down. So we had Ashley and Dylan here, and it was really a wonderful Sunday. And like, I think the grill was out of gas. Well, we figured out how to make the hamburgers. We had a delicious feast. That's what I love about this community. No matter who shows up, somehow there's just this synergy, this working together. And I want y'all to hold on to that, because that's what we really are at Unity, is community. And it was a lot of fun. Now, I don't have pictures of the baseball game, because I hear Angels. Did you go, but you just didn't take your camera? Okay.
It's supposed to rain and rain and rain.
But as you can see, Russ was all prepared already, wearing his baseball. So that was a lot of fun this week. So that's just a really good way to celebrate. Now, another thing that happened this week is, y'all, it was my birthday. My birthday. And look, okay. Now, I've always been sassy, okay? So,
Oh my God.
this Tuesday, I was invited to a brunch for Barbie. And so I got me a pillbox hat. You remember pillbox hats? I loved wearing that thing. I wore that crown all day long. And I had my good friend Mary, she redded my hair and made a bubble. Now, y'all may not know this about Barbie. Before she had careers, she was a classic 60s gal. And so that's what I tried to recreate with the gloves, and the little hat, the little shoes, and the swing coat. I had more fun. And you know what? That's the way to celebrate, is to play.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really fun. And so I'm going to bring up a song here too that goes along with the spirit of play. You know, with my granddaughter Erin, who's about 22 months, I always have to listen to children's songs. And y'all, the big hit this right now, in addition to Coco Melon, is Miss Rachel. So I want y'all to share this song. And oh, please work. Oh, here it comes.
I'm so happy, jump. I'm so happy, jump.
So, all right, thank y'all for indulging me. That's a pretty good song if you've got to listen to that kind of TV with it. So I need to check my sound, and I need to check the video. It's not picking that up. So I'm gonna redo this. It is on, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. What? We don't need to do that. Okay. Now, another thing I've done recently is I've been to the village. I went to the Finding Your Center retreat, and I did that that was also for my birthday. That was my birthday present to myself. And I'm going to be talking more about that today. But I really did deepen while I was in the unity principles while I was there. And the very first principle, of course, is in our opening statement. So let's say that together. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God, the good, the omnipotent. Yes. And when you really get that, guys, it's really powerful. It can be just a statement, but it can also be so powerful. And we have more people coming, and it's just fun. Now, another staple of unity is the daily word. And I love this. I went, I got a guided tour at the village. And you guys, they used to have a big printing press operation there. And they don't print the material there now, but they do mailings, and they organize all the booklets that they give, all the daily words. And it was an amazing structure that got built. I guess it got started in the 20s, but then they really got there in the 40s where they had a really big operation. So Daily Word came straight out of Unity Village. And I guess the mailings, it still does. And I love today's word because it relates to the principles. Okay, so what we just gave in the opening statement, that's principle 1, God is. And now we have I am. I am a living expression of God. And in the book of Exodus, Moses asked, what is your name? And he responded, I am who I am. I am is the name of the divine presence within me, a reminder of my spiritual identity. Sometimes I may forget my divine identity. If I have spoken disempowering words about myself, I release those thoughts and stop using those words. Each time I say I am, I strengthen my awareness of the truth of my being. I am God's life, love, wisdom, and strength, expressing uniquely as me. I love that. And I'm going to check this one more time. I don't know. Well, I can't pick up. I'm on, but it's just not showing a view of me like it sometimes does. But anyway. Okay, of course, another thing about unity is silent unity. And you're not allowed really to tour the tower for silent unity. It's in operation, nearly 24/7. You can't call now 24 hours, but you can text and email 24 hours. And I believe the last calls stop at maybe midnight, 10 o'clock, something like that. So, but the calls are pretty much all day long. And it's just been a wonderful service for over 135 years. So now at Unity we do what's called affirmative prayer. And we think of prayer, the movements of prayer. So it's just really simple. If you just have this structure in your mind, you can go through a prayer. I open, God is, I am, I know and I can, and I appreciate. And I like to use the symbol of the spiral, the kuru, because I think we start with opening, and then it just expands until you feel that oneness in prayer. So let's take a moment to pray. So, sharing in the breath of divine life, we inhale and exhale. Feel the oneness in that breath, the power of this moment in that breath. We breathe in, God is. We exhale, I am. God is, I am. God is, I am. I open my heart and my mind to this beautiful community, this beautiful day, and to the lessons we may share in this hour. I quiet any extraneous thoughts and settle and relax and sense myself being here now in my seat or in this place. I quiet my energy as I go to my center. I find my center. I breathe in. God is peace. I breathe out. I am peace. And from that peaceful place, I know that God is peace, love, wisdom, and strength. And I claim that peace, love, wisdom, and strength in thoughts and feelings and sensations. I embody open-heartedness. I embody open-mindedness. I take it in, I receive. I do this as I express peace, love, wisdom, and strength. And with these expressions, what can I do in all activities and circumstances? I can focus on truth and the transforming work of faith. Take that focus. I can first pause in an interaction and then love and then share in some way our unity principles. I can use my tools of prayer and meditation to hold healing and wholeness for myself. I hold it in consciousness for myself and for others. I can be willing to get in the mud if I have to and to find the unfolding lotus. I embrace, engage, empower myself. I embrace what is. I engage with my divine identity. I empower myself with those powers, those divine qualities that is always there when I get in touch with it. Oh, I appreciate this day, this life, these 72 years that I've shared with you all, and I hope that you all appreciate your lives and appreciate this community and our unity principles and teachings. May we enrich each other's lives and support each other in celebration and challenges. And so it is. So it is. So I've kind of bookended our unity things, our prayer and our daily word, well, with kind of a Pollyanna song. Although I think that had a good message for kids. It was just so much fun. And then this beautiful song, No Mud, No Lotus. And I love his lyrics. Haven't you noticed the patterns of the pain in your past? The things that broke you, they also awoke you to the questions you needed to ask. And everything you go through grows you, grows you. Everything you go through grows you, exposes who you are. And so today, I'm going to be talking about the lotus, some, the unfolding, in the past. But I'm also going to be talking about be a lighthouse, not a tugboat. This came from Lorraine. Lorraine made cards for us last month. We talked a lot about being the light, and so this may have been the only one you made of that, but I just said, oh, I've got to have that one. And it amused me, first of all. It was, that would be a tugboat. And then I really got to thinking about it. It really spoke to me. And you know what? I thought it was so original and clever, but then I looked it up, and everybody's written a blog or an article about this saying. And it's whether it's the business-minded, you can imagine what business people might do with this. And then it's also, sort of spiritual too. So I'm going to be thinking about that in both ways today. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try one more time on this. Let's see if it mainly works in this one. Let's see. Sorry, it still didn't do that. But. So, as I've talked about, this is my birthday. I've been real reflective, you can imagine. And so I personally took both images, the lotus and then the idea of the tugboat and the lighthouse. All of that went in the labyrinth with me, and it's just a beautiful time to be reflective every year for your birthday. Now, I found this is what Myrtle said in Healing Letters about aging, and I love this. Let go of the mental attitude that causes a sense of burden, that belief in age that weighs one down with years. You live in God, not in years. Instead of thinking I'm getting up in years, get into the youth spirit of joy in living and loving. And we know that Myrtle she lived to the fullest. And so I think that's just wonderful. So let's talk about this labyrinth. So I must have walked that labyrinth 6 times. And it's a pretty big labyrinth, y'all. I mean, I had on my Fitbit, I think one day I did 15,000 steps, another day I did 13,000. So it's a pretty big labyrinth. And I walked with a focus and an inner stillness in the presence of God. And sometimes I'd pick up the pace, sometimes I'd be very deliberate and slow. The walking was like an unfolding lotus to reveal that golden center to me as I walked toward the center. And every walk was a bit different in healing, because actually healing is really the theme of our month, so I want to connect that. It was very healing to do all of this. Now, one time on the paths, I danced on the paths, and people afterwards said, "What were you doing?" And I said, "Well, I dance all the time. Why do we have to walk and be real all serious? So why not dance?" And then you might notice, well, there's all kinds of twists and turns. I've got many pictures of this. But I love the turns because they were very sharp. They were pivots. And I wore a scarf like this, and there was a wind in it, so it picked it up. And so every time there would be a thing, I would just swoop it. And it was, and again, I know people have think she's a nut, but I didn't. Well, there were all kinds of different styles. Betty Deer went with me, and I got to tell you, she cut the corners all the time. And Betty told me, she said, "Well, I'm just impatient." I took every turn very seriously, I really did. Now, part of this swooping, doesn't that fit? So, part of this swooping is there's chimney swifts. There's the buildings are kind of old at the village. I mean, well, they're, 1900s. So anyway, there was a chimney, and there are chimney swifts, and they would come out at night, because we'd always walk once in the daytime and then once in the evening. And the swifts were up, and as you watch them, they swoop and swoop and swoop, and they were so much fun to watch. And then, when the sun would set, bam, they're back in the chimney, they're done. But that's kind of what they inspired me to turn on the pivots. So now the first time, let's see, you need to get a good picture of this, okay? So this is an aerial view of it. So the first time I walked it, you go in, and you haul around, you go to the center, and then you come back out. But as I was coming out, I said, "Oh my God, am I lost? I can't get out. This goes on forever." Well, guess what the message was? You're not done yet. You're not done yet. Now that's a pretty good message to get on your birthday. It's like, don't sit down. You've got more to do. Oh God, what is that? I don't know. I love being retired, really. But anyway, more for that later. And then another one, I thought of it. I also wondered, like sometimes I thought, am I lost? Because it's real easy. Believe it or not, it's easy to kind of step off where you're supposed to be and get on another side. You kind of have to pay attention. You can dance and do all that I did, but you got to pay attention too. So I kept wondering, am I lost? But then I got this message: trust life, trust the process. It's just one foot in front of the other. Actually, I've crossed the Grand Canyon when I lived out in Flagstaff. I did that twice. And that's all you could do was put one foot in front of the other. You had to really watch. And so it is that idea of trust life and trust the process. Now, I then began to feel the pattern of the labyrinth. And like right there, you guys, that little bitty dot, I don't know if you can see it, that's the wings of unity. They put the wings of unity at that spot. But at this spot, at the beginning, you can't see it, but there's this gray stone that's different from everything else, and it's called the pausing stone. It's meant for you, as you enter, really be in touch with your intention and what you want to know. It's really cool. And so I can't, it would take too long to go through all of it, but as you can see, you go in and you start doing long paths, but before you know it, you're into these short paths in here, shorter paths, and they're very close to the center. Well, I began to feel like this pattern was like life, because in the beginning, young children, my young granddaughter, they're very close to the center, to God, much closer than some of us are when we've got all this baggage. And you're changing so fast. So you're doing those pivots and turns so fast. And then, after you've done them, but you don't get to the center there, you have to go back out. And as you can see, some of these paths, they're kind of long. Well, do you remember being in high school and college or in your 20s, and it just felt like you're immortal, you don't think about anything ending, and it just feels like you're going to be young forever. That's what happened. But high school, you're so into that experience, it just feels like a long time. Well, then you get out in the world, and things start changing. So then and as we grow older, guess what? We kind of get in toward the middle here, middle age, I guess. And then we get in, then we finally hit a center. We hit a point, and we come into the center. And there is a center stone here in the middle, and then there's 3 branches all around. And you just sit and you contemplate. Okay, what have I gained from this? And then what do I want to take out? What do I want to let go of? Now see, that's where the tugboat thing comes in. Let's let some things go, come on. But also I could look at it all, too. It was really cool. And then you come back out, and so here you are, you're coming back out, and so you start really, whoops, let me go back, so that one. Anyway, you start taking the long paths, but then you come in one more time to the close one where things start changing fast. And that's been my experience. I don't know about you, Rain, but I've been getting insight after insight, and you start connecting dots and getting some realizations if you're lucky, and that's what happened before then I actually got out. So I really felt the process of life that one time that I walked the labyrinth. So every time was kind of different. I could be playful as I danced, or I could really think, oh, this is so like life. And of course, being a mathematician, I was really looking at the geometry of it. But anyway, and then I will say there were times when I got to the center and I just had tears of such gratitude, and like I brought my parents, my loved ones, my family, just all these people that had been in my life that had made it so wonderful. And maybe even some that I needed to forgive too. But it just, I just sat there with those people in there. It was just so beautiful to be in that center. And of course I say there was mud, but then I could just see the bloom. And I felt like it was an unfolding too, So it was, well, I just gotta say, are you ready to go with me next time?
Yes.
Now, this is only for ladies,
Yes.
for women, but Karen Drucker is there. She writes those beautiful sons. She's gonna be there in September. But then we could just do road trip up there, because there's two things that you can access at the village. The Peace Chapel is open 24 hours. It's this beautiful small chapel, and it was the first prayer chapel that they use, and Beverly's talked about it, Russ. It's a wonderful place. And so a lot of people just park in the parking lot and go to that chapel and pray, and then the labyrinth is open all the time, and it's close to a parking lot. So you don't have to really get involved in all the village, but you can just do that. And they have this wonderful hotel now. I think it's been open 1 or 2 years. It's won all these awards. And a lot of us said we don't want to go home. But all the rooms were decorated with the Unity blue, and like around the TV, the wall was painted blue, but above the TV it would have a word like believe, or some kind of affirmative word. And that was kind of an odd way to frame a TV, but the rooms were beautiful, food was great. So road trip, Pam. we should plan that. It should happen. So I was wondering if I'd left out. So I returned, of course, much lighter and refreshed, but inspired to be the light, to share. I felt like more the Lighthouse. I kind of left the Tugboat behind. And I've figured out that I feel myself to be more discerning about what I take on. I might be saying no some, you guys. Now my little granddaughter says, I love the way she says no. I say, do you want this, Erin? No. No. It's almost French. No. And it's just real matter of fact. There's no explanation. And I heard someone say no is a complete sentence. You don't have to answer that. And so that's something I put into practice. But I really want to use it with discernment. I'm not going to start getting to be a negative Nelly for it by any means. But it was so wonderful to be at that retreat with all the Unitics. There were 60 of us. And it was really a diverse group of ages. Some people from Jamaica were there. Just all walks of life were in that room. Now there weren't as many young people because it started on a Thursday, and I imagine it's hard to do that for younger people. But one of the walks was on World Labyrinth Day. That was on Saturday, and it was at 1 o'clock. And you know how Chris and I've held the peace meditation for years, and we've been doing that at 6 a.m., right, Chris? So that we coordinate with the entire world and meditate at the same time. Well, this walk was coordinated that way. And because there are now, the Labyrinth is a pretty big movement, and there are many, many that are being built and have been built There's a beautiful one in San Francisco. There's one in France, just all over the world. So it was coordinated that everyone walked the labyrinth for peace. And imagine, so we all went at one time. So there were traffic jams on that labyrinth. There really were. But we all cooperated, and helped each other, because there were some people that had a hard time walking it. They had canes or whatever. And a couple of ladies had to sit out. But we took their spirit in, so it was just wonderful. We weren't alone that weekend. And one of the things I was processing at the retreat was about unity, here at Unity of Little Rock, about the transition we are really kind of making at this time. And as I listened to members from other churches, I found that many of us are challenged right now, really challenged. With finances, many people don't have ministers. It's kind of a crucial time. And I kind of got some clarity about next steps. And part of that was feeling the weight of the tugging of this building. And I know that this isn't a popular thing for me to say, but I'm just going to say, this is what came to me. It just became clear that, if we put this down, what can we do? What can we do? And I know you say, okay, we have this space, but you guys, we have done the best we can with this space and the resources we have. It's not like we haven't tried at all. And yet, we're just the little church on Reservoir Road. People, I want us to be seen more. I really do.
The storm is ended.
I don't know about that.
And it's come to a close.
Now, as I toured the grounds of the village to appreciate the Unity movement and to listen to other participants, I felt the energy of the Lighthouse. That is the Unity movement, that is New Thought. And in fact, I was telling Dolores that Unity, it's unbelievable acreage. And with the space, they're inviting New Thought organizations to come use the space. And they're trying to use the facilities they have, create new facilities so that they can have events and just bring people in to experience it. And it made me realize, wow, they're not just stuck in the history here. They're not just stuck in the history. They are looking forward, and in really good ways, in ways that I hadn't really heard before. And I thought, well, what could we do? What could we do? It just made me think. Now, I know we offer something unique and wonderful in our teachings and practices here at ULR, but we've just got limited resources at this time. Now, that's the good teaching of unity. It's never permanent, okay, but at this time, this is what's, we are limited in some ways, and it's just not a permanent condition. So I claim that it's time to pivot from tugging here in this place, because I've tugged a long time, since 2008 for sure, 2001. You've tugged. You've been here a while. Chris, you've tugged. Here's a light right there. You are shining bright. You are creating something. But it doesn't have to be here, although God knows I love that space in there. I get it. And the way you've created that space, but you're going to create that space wherever you are. That's the thing about you. You are going to create whatever you are. So, there's the center stone. I meant to pull that one up, I just forgot. And let's see what's it, no. So I say first we need to short the community, then we need to apply mind, idea, expression to create something new and fresh. So the last night at the retreat, I don't know, I kept trying to say, what does that look like? What does that look like? And I tossed and turned, and that was really a drastic thing because the next day I had to drive 7 hours in Betty's car, but I just kept trying, what does it look like? So I don't have it yet, you guys. And it feels muddy and uncertain right now, but I know something wonderful is going to be created and will unfold. And it won't be, it's not going to happen by magic. It's going to take creative work and commitment. So, but before I do that, I did want to show you, I wrote this back in 2012, but I want us to maybe think about writing a power statement for our community too. But I realized, whoa, and sometimes I forget these things that I've done in the past, but I know and trust the flow of life and gracefully play my part. I am fully conscious of my breath and body. I create energy and vitality. I initiate myself into my own ecstasy. I gather abundance and resources to live wholeheartedly. I connect to the mother in oneness. I deeply know the sacredness of all experience and share my awareness with others. And when I looked at that, I said, yeah, I've been living that, I think, and I want us to live that here at Unity. I really, really do. For everyone to claim their power. Now let's go back to Bob Simas. That's who wrote that beautiful song. And at the end, the swoon of a deep blue sky, as the time blew, you planted and gathered your truth as it passed before your eyes. And the wound is where the light gets in, revealing the masterpiece that's just beneath the skin. And in the glow of your own light, with your petals open wide, and you bloom right where you are. Boy, you take that with the power statement, wow. Now, okay, coming back to this, coming back to Unity. So let's take all that power that we just felt. Woo. All right. I have been sort of getting clarity about us finding a big space, a big open space.
Yes.
I see a coffee corner, a place in the corner or one end of it where there could be small groups and comfortable chairs and coffee and snacks. And small groups can meet, there can be prayer, discussion, just hanging out. And then I see an open space that's really flexible. It's gonna have yoga in it. It might even have me a dance.
Yeah, great as well.
And it could have a service, on Sundays. There'd be chairs that we could bring in. There'd be a good sound system. And or we could share music. Say what?
Lights.
Lights, good lights, good lights. See that? All right, that is what we need. That is what we need. Now, you may have gotten an email from Russ, a survey. I think a lot of y'all have filled it out. But what we were trying to do is gather a little bit of information. I'm pretty sure you filled it out. I did. But at any rate, and then we are going to meet on June 2nd. We're going to pool all and the survey in the end all be all, but we just wanted to see if we could get some information. Actually, I resisted doing the survey because Russ wanted to find out who's attending regularly and who's not. And I said, oh, Russ, we could sit down and just do that on paper. We don't need to put out a survey. But the more I talked with them, I said, well, let's ask in general what people want in a spiritual center, not just what they want at ULR, Unity of Little Rock. And so we kind of did a bit of both. And by the time Russ and I finished talking and knocking heads together, and it's really funny when Russ and I work together, kind of, because he's very linear, sequential, and I'm real random. And so, but together we kind of got a pretty good product and put it out. And then on June 2nd, we're going to have lunch here and a discussion about. Let's start thinking about the ideas and what we need to do to find them. Yes, ma'am, Pam.
On that, that's what I told her several months We need to make it a fest, and it'll happen.
That's it, that's the idea. Yeah, and
No more
we want to put a little structure to this, because
Yes.
remember, we are about form and freedom,
Mhm.
but that's the idea, it's just mind, idea, expression. We are unitics after all. So, and then y'all, I did ask Chatbot, I said, what are people looking for in spiritual centers? And I got y'all, I'm beginning
That's
to like
great.
this thing. Look at this.
I know.
People are seeking a spiritual center that offers a sense of community, inclusivity, and opportunities for personal growth. They may be looking for a place where they can connect with like-minded individuals, engaging in meaningful discussion, and participate in spiritual practices that resonate with them. In addition, young adults are often drawn to spiritual centers that offer a welcoming and non-judgmental atmosphere where they can explore their beliefs and perspectives without fear of criticism.
We all want that.
Yeah, we all do. And they may also value opportunities for learning and personal development, such as workshops and retreats, etc. You know, we have that in our core, and so it is. We have that ability, but we need more resources. I kept thinking I could teach Nia, I could teach, and then I went, wait a minute, I can't be the teacher of everything. Brittany can't do it all, Laura can't, you know. So we really have got to get the resources together, and that's going to be people. And then we really, come on, we really do need some.
Well, we can
some
start
money.
now, you know, that's the thing.
Well-
I mean, after the meeting, but I mean, why not use what we have while we're
Exactly.
here?
Now, you need to know that, Brittany. That's why I support you every Monday night. I said, we don't know when there's been a little activity. Something may happen at the end of the summer, but I mean, nothing is definite at all. And the deal is, in the meantime, we have to start manifesting
We're already
that.
going
And we have to go for that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's why I come every Monday night to Brittany's. Clay comes often. When you do what you do, you know, everyone here contributes. Everyone. I'm sorry if I'm not saying everybody, but we have a core. That's the point. We have a core. We need a little more, but we've got the core. So that's a lot of energy.
I'm too proud.
Real quick.
Yes.
You know, I love my Louise Hay.
Yes.
She says, leave love where you're at, and you will find love where you're going. And it's been true.
It's true. It's true. Pam, you are the best ambassador for this community that I know. I'm telling you.
And you can use the visioning process by Reverend Michael, Dr. Bernard Beckwith.
Yeah, Beckwith,
The
yes.
visioning process, how he started Agape.
That's
The
true.
visioning process is powerful.
It is. We will,
He has a book.
he has a book for that, so we will look that up, that maybe we can incorporate that day. So, okay. So let's settle for a minute. Now, what I'm going to do with the meditation is, you know, normally I'll do it and then I end with a song, but I found the words of Thich Nhat Hanh explaining what he meant by no mud, no lotus. So, and it's not a lengthy one, so I'm going to end with that. So, that's, all right, I have to do this one. Oh, let's just settle. Oh, but you know, I feel so alive, don't you? So feel that life coursing through you, just feel it. But breathe and breathe and breathe. Breathe. God is. I am. God is. I am. God is. I am. Be still. Be still. Be still. Be still. Relax. Be still. Open. Be still. Release what you've been tugging. Let go. Be still. Just know Be still and know. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. Know in your depth, your secret place, the point where the divine is manifesting as you come to rest and wait in this sweet, soft moment here. Release the energy of holding on, of tugging. Let go. Now I feel held in the presence, loved and supported. Let it be. It is. God is. I am.
That flower on your path is a wonder. It is a mystery. You cannot explain with your human mind how that flower is there. With mindfulness and concentration, you can get in touch with that flower, and you may get right away the insight that this is something that belongs to the kingdom of God. In the here and now, you don't have to die in order to touch the kingdom of God. And your body also belongs to the kingdom. Do not have any conflicts. Your body is a wonder. It is a mystery. So everything that you touch in you and around you, they all belong to the kingdom of God. They are wonders. Not only the lotus flower is a wonder, but the nut that help to produce the lotus is also a wonder. Without the nut, there would not be lotus. And with the energy of mindfulness, concentration, you can touch the kingdom of God in everything. Not only in the lotus, but in the nut. Because in the kingdom of God there is no discrimination. Suffering is the kind of nut. Happiness is kind of lotus. And if we know how to make good use of suffering, we can produce the beautiful lotus of happiness. So everything inside of you and around you can be seen as the manifestation of the kingdom. The kingdom is available 24 hours a day, and God is available 24 hours a day.